civilization are essentially one. They flourished together. They have rocked together in a war, which we, in spite of our enormous contributions and sacrifices, like, though in a less degree than America, economically stood outside, and they may fall together. In this lies the destructive significance of the Peace of Paris. If the European Civil War is to end with France and Italy abusing their momentary victorious power to destroy Germany and Austria-Hungary, now prostrate, they invite their own destruction also, being so deeply and inextricably intertwined with their victims by hidden psychic and economic bonds. At any rate, an Englishman who took part in the Conference of Paris, and was during those months a member of the Supreme Economic Council of the Allied Powers, was bound to become, for him a new experience, a European in his cares and outlook. There, at the nerve centre of the European system, his British preoccupations must largely fall away, and he must be haunted by other and more dreadful spectres. Paris was a nightmare, and everyone there was morbid. A sense of impending catastrophe overhung the frivolous scene, the futility and smallness of man before the great events confronting him, the mingled significance and unreality of the decisions, levity, blindness, insolence, confused cries from without. All the elements of ancient tragedy were there. Seated, indeed, among the theatrical trappings of the French saloons of state, one could wonder if the extraordinary visages of Wilson and of Clemenceau, with their fixed hue and unchanging characterization, were really faces at all, and not the tragic-comic masks of some strange drama or puppet show. The proceedings of Paris all had this air of extraordinary importance and unimportance at the same time. The decisions seemed charged with consequences to the future of human society, yet the air whispered that the word was not flesh, that it was futile, insignificant, of no effect, dissociated from events, and one felt most strongly the impression, described by Tolstoy in War and Peace, or by Hardy in The Dynasts, of events marching on to their fated conclusion, uninfluenced and unaffected by the cerebrations of statesmen in council. The spirit of the years. Observe that all wide sight and self-command deserts these throngs now driven to demonry by the imminent unrecking. Naught remains but vindictiveness here amid the strong, and there amid the weak an impotent rage. Spirit of the pities. Why prompts the will so senseless-shaped a doing? Spirit of the years. I have told thee that it works unwittingly, as one possessed not judging. In Paris, where those connected with the Supreme Economic Council received almost hourly the reports of the misery, disorder, and decaying organization of all Central and Eastern Europe, allied and enemy alike, and learnt from the lips of the financial representatives of Germany and Austria unanswerable evidence of the terrible exhaustion of their countries, an occasional visit to the hot, dry room in the President's house, where the four fulfilled their destinies in empty and arid intrigue, only added to the sense of nightmare. Yet there in Paris the problems of Europe were terrible and clamant, and an occasional return to the vast unconcern of London a little disconcerting. For in London these questions were very far away, and our own lesser problems alone troubling. London believed that Paris was making a great confusion of its business, but remained uninterested. In this spirit the British people received the treaty without reading it. But it is under the influence of Paris, not London, that this book has been written by one who, though an Englishman, feels himself a European also, and, because of too vivid recent experience, cannot disinterest himself from the further unfolding of the great historic drama of these days, which will destroy great institutions.